Hello, my name is Peter Lloyd Sherlock and I co-direct the Masters in International Social Development.
Hello, my name is Ben Jones. I am the co-director of the Masters in International Social Development here at the University of East Anglia.
Social development has become an increasingly prominent part of international development theory and practice over the last 15 years. I think there are several reasons for this. First, there's been growing recognition that development is about much more than improving economic performance, and that economic growth does not automatically lead to desirable changes for people and for societies. Development inevitably includes massive social changes and disruptions, and these can create opportunities but can also increase people's vulnerability. Not everyone benefits from development in the same way. Even within the same societies, there will usually be winners and losers. Some countries have been quite successful at translating economic growth into improved welfare. Other countries have not been so successful. Why is this? As well as these general concerns, we've become increasingly aware that development policies and interventions only work effectively if they're sensitive to the nature of local social structures, power relations, local cultural issues, and a range of other things. This is just as important for large-scale government programmes as it is for much smaller schemes run by individual charities and NGOs. One area of development that I work in relates to cash transfers for poor people in developing countries. These have become an increasingly important part of development policy and poverty reduction in the last 10 or 15 years. Most of these programmes were initially developed in parts of Latin America, such as Brazil and Mexico, and now there are efforts to try and set up very similar schemes in much poorer countries, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa. Of course, the situation in these poorer countries is very different in terms of health and education infrastructure, the way families work, gender relations are all very different. And we can't just assume that programmes that may have been effective in a country like Mexico or Brazil will work in a country like Zambia or Kenya. So this is an example of the sort of issues that we'd be looking at as part of this Masters in International Social Development.
Let me explain something about the two core modules you will take as part of your degree programme here. The first is Social Analysis for International Development, where we take a range of real-world examples and relate that to academic and theoretical literature. For example, we look at the issue of human rights, one of the most important issues in development work at the moment, and we look at how that translates into practice in poor rural communities in Malawi. The second unit you will take is Gender, Difference and Social Policy, where we look at a range of issues in social policy in the developing world and look at how issues of gender and difference inform those policies. For example, I draw on my own experience at the World Bank to look at the role of poverty reduction strategies and the way that feeds into education policy in, for example, a developing country like Tanzania, looking at how issues of difference and gender inform the way the policies of education are designed and looking at the way a range of stakeholders shape those policies. Our students. We have a range of students that join our programme. These include students who come from an NGO background, students who are activists, students who come from civil service, who work in developing country governments, students who have worked for aid agencies such as JICA or the United Nations or the World Bank. We also have people who join our course who have no practical, formal experience in development work, but have a keen interest, and we welcome those applications as well. You can read more about some of our student profiles on our website. We also draw on a range of professional experiences in the course and in the teaching. So students, for example, who have worked in UN agencies are encouraged to bring that experience to class. Students who have worked in the NGO sector are given group activities which draw on the types of learning and experience that they can bring from that background. And finally, I'd just like to say a few words on where our students go on to work in development. We have students that have gone on to work in professional international development agencies such as the United Nations and the World Bank. We also have students that have gone to work on for bilateral national government agencies such as JICA, the Japanese aid agency, or the UK's Department for International Development. And we also have students who use this course as a way of transferring towards new types of careers. For example, those that are very committed to doing NGO work, or those who are clearly engaged in making a difference through the realm of advocacy. And one thing I would say about the course is it's that range of experience and that range of interest and commitment that makes this particular master's programme extremely valuable and makes it a pleasure and a privilege to teach.